you guys are going to be seething after you see this story. Before I pull this article up, just imagine what would happen if the sexes were reversed in this story. Texas teacher gets 60-day prison sentence for sex with a 6th grader. Over the course of 3 years, mind you. Grooming a 12 to 15-year-old over the course of 3 years gets 60 days in prison. And this is Based, Texas, right there. Am I right? Based, Texas. Woo! A former Texas 6th grade teacher will spend 2 months in prison for having a 3-year relationship with one of her students who was between the ages of 12 and 15 at the time. She will be given until June current year +1 to surrender for her brief prison sentence due to the recent birth of her child. Oh, how much you want to bet the kid is going to have to pay child support for that now, too? Holy shit. Could you imagine what would happen if some male teacher was in a sexual relationship with a girl for 3 years of the ages of 12 to 15? They would probably Minecraft the guy before he even gets to prison. But hey, I bet this woman bitches about things like the gender pay gap all the time. It has nothing to say about the sentencing gap, though. So this week, 32-year-old Marka Bodine went before Harris County Judge George Glass. See, that's the problem. The judge was a fucking mangina. I bet if she actually got a female judge, she would have probably been in prison for like 20 years. It was sentenced her to 60 days in prison and 10 years of probation following her guilty plea on the charge of continuous sexual abuse of a child. Now, you want to talk about the sentencing gap now? A woman could sexually abuse a boy for 3 straight years, 60 days in prison. A man does the same thing to a girl, he's never going to get out of prison. Even if they don't give him a life sentence, he's probably going to be Minecrafted in that prison. But Whammons can do it and get away with it just fine. So the sentence was postponed due to the recent birth of her child. She has until June 5th, current year +1, to report to jail. Now, this too, imagine if the genders were reversed. If this was a man who just recently had a newborn baby, you think that man would get any special treatment? I think we know the answer to that. Now, the underage victim was not the child's father. Oh, okay. At least he got lucky there. Fuck, man. If not for that, he would have been on the hook for child support. According to the New York Compost report, the defendant is an English teacher for Tomball ISD in north of Houston. The sentence came as a surprise to the Harris County District Attorney's Office, which requested a minimum sentence of 20 years in prison. District Attorney Kim Ogg revealed in a Facebook post. This is what happens when you have piece of shit manginas as judges. They just keep perpetuating the sentencing gap. Now, I'm heartbroken for the complainant and for his family. I'm really disappointed in the outcome as a prosecutor, a child abuse prosecutor, and I'm disappointed as a citizen of Harris County. So Harris County Prosecutor Jana Oswald, chief of the Crimes Against Children's Division, told NBC2, well, nothing but crap to you. The case came to light in April of current year -1 when Bodine reported to the school principal that a former student who was 16 at the time was harassing her and threatening to harm himself. The affidavits revealed during an investigation, the student claimed their relationship with Bodine lasted almost 3 years. The relationship began in current year -4 when the male victim was a 6th grade student of Bodine's. The two began chatting through a video game Fortnite and then turned to text messages. Once the student turned 13, the relationship turned sexual. Over the course of 3 years, Bodine sent roughly 40 explicit images of herself to the teen. So during that time, Bodine went through a divorce and moved into the same apartment complex of the teen victim. Bodine had sex with the student in her classroom and in her vehicle. And now, you know what happened here? How much you want to bet that this mangina was like, oh, you poor innocent Whammons having to put up with that psycho stalker that you groomed and then discarded? Look, no, you've already been through enough. You've suffered enough. Look, I'm just going to give you a slap on the wrist. So yeah, feminists, any of you actually support equality? When can we expect you to start marching for some equality in this case and others like it, huh? I'm not going to hold my breath. I know it's never going to happen, but, wishful thinking.